Hey everyone, this is Josie. This is part two of my Q&A for the Silver Fang Found series. And in this Q&A, in this second part of the Q&A, I'm going to be talking about the book. The first video, I talked about the old version and stuff and my thought process behind that and everything. And now I'm going to talk about the current book. I changed it up. It's so different now. I've rewritten it. So now that's what I'm going to talk about. So the first, there you go. So the first biggest plot slash setting change of the book is the origin of werewolves. And so, like I said, I always felt like when it comes to about werewolves and the mythology behind werewolves, I always thought that they go together with black people. Like if I had to put a race to something, I would think of black people as werewolves, like from the culture and everything like that. And so I wanted to talk about the origin of where werewolves came from because in most Wattpad books, they don't have that. They don't talk about where werewolves come from. We just accept that they're in this world. And so in order to, bring my story together, because the origin story of how werewolves came to be does play a part throughout the whole series, especially this in the uh, found unit or whatever you want to call it. And so my origin, okay, sorry. So my origin story. So my origin story starts off basically the origin and the root of where werewolves came from comes from Mawu, which is an African moon goddess. She's a West African goddess. She is so yeah, sorry. This is like a lot of information I'm reading. Okay, so anyway, so she's a West African Mother Earth creator goddess. She is associated with both the sun and the moon. She's the goddess of night, joy, motherhood, as well as the ruler of the world's wisdom and knowledge. She is the one that brings cold nights to the hot African world. Another thing about her is she's known as the first mother. She's the one that gave life to all creatures on Earth, which reflects in the origin that I put with the Silver Fang. Also, she is often shown as a wise mother. She's depicted as riding on an elephant's back, being pregnant, because that indicates that she is pregnant with life. She gives pregnant to all life. She gives birth to all life. And also, she's a fertility goddess. So let me just touch up on the moon goddess. So like I said, I wanted it to be different with the origin story. And in most werewolf books, their origin story is about Luna, the moon goddess, which Luna does mean moon, and about the moon goddess and stuff. And werewolves, their source of energy, their light is from the moon. And so my take on it is, yes, Mawu is the moon goddess. She is the source of energy and all be all. She created. And so the origin story of where werewolves came from is basically there was a kingdom in Africa, and that kingdom was being under attack because with colonialism and things like that, and slavery was coming into play. So they were under attack. They were fighting against the colonialists, and so they were losing. And the princess of that kingdom, she met Alpha, which is Mawu's familiar. That is basically, you could think of it in a way like he's a part Alpha, he is a part of Mawu. So that's her familiar, that is her right hand man. He is the gateway to all the werewolves being able to connect with her or speak to her. They come through Alpha. A weird, I don't want to compare, but like the only comparison I can think of is kind of like Jesus, but then again Jesus is God. So like in my case, that's not who Alpha is, although he does have similar, all his powers come from, Alpha's powers come from Maul. Like everything he does, like his whole being comes from her, just like all the other werewolves. But although Alpha is powerful than all the other like werewolves that's on Earth, but that's the only like weird comparison that I can make. Um, so yeah, so like I said, Alpha comes along. He basically gives a little bit of his power, his wolf spirit, and puts it in. Um, I should have had it written down. The princess. I'm sorry, I don't have her name written down. I should have written down. I forgot her name. There's so many names and stuff like that. It's just hard for me to like keep up and remember. But anyway, so he gives her that gift, the gift to like her wolf spirit. That's a gift, and so that helps her lead her people to safety. And then they discover an island, which is basically the Moon Island, and the rest is history. And they create their own kingdom and stuff like that. And so that's just basically the origin story that I've created. I've researched because I wanted, like I said, I wanted this to be black. And so I was like, okay, I never heard of or learned about any black mythology, black goddesses and things like that. And so, did my research, looked it up, and I'm like, oh, okay, there is a moon goddess. Like, there's different names for the moon goddess, but that's the moon goddess that I chose. And so there's that. Later in the book, and like in the series, you'll get to learn more about her, because she plays a role also as well. I mean, she played a pretty big role in the Found series, or the Found unit, I should say. Okay, so that's the origin of werewolves. So now, okay, I talked about Alpha. He's the familiar of Mawu. He's the gateway access to Mawu. He's the first wolf ever. He's very powerful. That's a thing too. He's the very first werewolf ever. So now we're gonna talk about the ancestors. So in total, I should say there's 3 in America, 1 in Africa, and then there's one in, like, the Moon Island. Okay, yeah. So in total, there are 5 werewolf packs. I explained this in the early chapters of the book, but in total, there are 5 werewolf packs. 3 are in America, 1's in Africa, and 1 is, of course, the royal family, which is in the Moon Island. They're the first and oldest pack. They started it all and everything. That's like the origin and the home of all the werewolves in the Moon Island. So yes, there's 5 in total, and so I'm just gonna talk about each of the packs. And yeah, okay. So for the 3 packs that's in America, so I'm just gonna talk about the 3 packs because they were introduced in the story, and they didn't play a big role. But I mean, later down the line, we'll talk more about them. But there's like 3 packs in America. So since I already introduced them, that's what we're gonna talk about. So the ancestors of these 3 packs are Messi, Tabli, and Leditsi. Leditsi. Okay, y'all. I'm sorry that. Sorry if I mispronounced. Like, maybe I had a different way of how I was gonna pronounce the name, and if it's not the way that I pronounced it, I'm sorry. So anyway, okay, charges in my head, not my heart. Okay, with these names. All right. So, part of the first one counts. Okay, so Talby, he was the first one part of the Moon Council, like the Moon Island Council. He was one of the loyal subjects of the Moon, not the Moon, of the Princess, like the first, not the first werewolf, but like the one that receives the wolf spirit from Alpha. So he was in the council, very loyal subject to her. He was the first to leave the island and land in America, which is the place that he landed in was North Carolina. So he was the first to leave, to branch out, because he wanted to expand and also free some of his brothers and sisters that were captured during colonial rule. So that was that. Oh, her name is right here. The princess. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. So Leditsi is the first. Why is this here? Okay. Okay, Ledit. What's her name? Lidsey. She's the first werewolf and the first to receive her werewolf spirit. That's the princess. She's very close to Alpha. She helped protect her kingdom. Also, one thing that I wanted to do that's different with this book as well compared to other werewolf books is I didn't like this as I became a fan of the genre. Is I don't like the transition that most authors put between the werewolf, like the werewolf is talking, and then the actual like person. I didn't like that because I'm like, why is the wolf talking? Like sometimes there'll be a full chapter of dialogue between the person and their wolf, like just talking, and it's like it made my head confused, and I was just like, you talking to Loki yourself? Like I didn't like that, and so I wanted to differentiate between the human person and the werewolf. Okay, and so like I said, the wolf is like their spirit, and also it's just their spirit. It's more like an energy type of thing, and so that's why you see throughout literally this whole series, like the for this unit or whatever, for Found, that their wolves rarely spoke. They were rarely. I mean, they were involved. Like I said, it's just in their spirit. It's just like their soul. So like little things, they can feel like their wolf is warning them or telling them something. For example, like with Zoe, when she felt that child, what that boy name? Y'all hold up. What is his name? What did I name? Eric. Yeah, his name is Eric. Sorry, y'all. Okay, it's been a long day. Okay, I got notes, but not that detailed notes apparently. So anyway, the scene where Zoe automatically felt something was off about Eric. She smelled it in the air, the energy that was like the vibe and stuff. She felt it. That's her wolf. Her wolf, her spirit is letting her know. Just like, okay, for example, sorry, I'm getting off track, but still the same thing. So, like us as humans, we have a spirit, we have a soul. Our soul, first of all, the Holy Spirit's in us, okay? And so we have a soul, we have a spirit. And so our Holy Spirit, that's how we interact. That's how you can get a vibe like, okay, I'm gonna stay away from this person. Oh, I'm not gonna walk this way. Like you just feel it in your soul, in your spirit, that like certain things like, oh yes, I feel a vibe from this person, like this is gonna be my home girl or something, like, or no, I don't want this. Oh, the situation, I needs to go. Like, as human beings, we have that. Even animals, just for example, like just animals in general, it doesn't even have to be wolves. They have this animal instinct, just like us. We have that too. And so that's in the same way with their wolf spirit, and in this series as well. Like they have this instinct that tells them, hey, do this, hey, don't do this, hey, something is not right. And that's the way their wolf communicates with them, and they bond. The stronger the bond of your wolf is, you don't need to speak. You don't need to be like, hey wolf, what's going on? Like, your wolf don't need to tell you, because you feel it. You are one, you are each other. And that's the bond that creates, like, that's the bond of with the wolf, and that's the bond with Mau. Like, you are one with her. She's a moon god. She's your mother. She gave birth to you. She gave you this spirit. She gave you this power. So whatever you feel is what you feel with her. She's feeding you, exchanging emotions and stuff like that, and energy. So like even the people around you. So that's what I wanted to express. And so yeah, so anyway, I don't remember why I got on this topic, but yeah, that's basically, yeah. So Les talking to the wolf, like, I didn't want no wolf point of views. I think that's stupid. I didn't want to hear that. I don't want to hear the wolf like, that's your makeup. Like, I don't, like, shut up. No one could see you. I mean, unless I turn into a wolf, sure, but it's still me. Like, physically, like, I have control. You know what I mean? Like, even though we all, like, here, are human, in the human sense, we're humans. We have a physical body and stuff like that. But we all have a spirit, and it's more like, an energy type of thing. Like at the end of the day, I can make decisions. Even if my spirit, like sometimes we don't listen to our spirit. So, the Holy Ghost in me could be like, girl, don't do that. That's wrong. don't do that or something like that. My free will is like, girl, I don't care, I'm gonna do it. So it's the same concept as that. Um, so now let's move on to the characters. Okay, that was a lot. Sorry, y'all. Okay. All right. First, okay, new characters were introduced to this version. So new characters. So characters that I had was number one. We're gonna talk about Zoe and her character. So Zoe, of course, is Amani's cousin. She's very headstrong. Um, she's a half wolf, half vampire. We'll get into more details about that later in the series, but that's her race. She has a hard time getting close to people. She loves her family. She loves and adores her mom, and she's very sure of herself, but lacks confidence. And so with Zoe, I don't know how I can like compared to the original when I first wrote this book. Like I didn't mention any other family members that Amani had. It was literally just her dad, um, her dad's wife, and then her half brother. That's really the only family she had. So I didn't put that Ben, who is Amani's father, he had a sibling and stuff like that, the grandparents. I didn't really do that. But I think now that I'm thinking about it now, like I said, wolves, packs, black community, we're a pack. We like to be together, like to be with family. So I think that's why I included Zoe because that's what I wanted to show, like family, the togetherness, the pack, and things like that. And Amani, the reason that she left her home was to find her family, to find her pack, because all she had was her mother. And so yeah, so Zoe, unlike Amani, even though Zoe was raised literally in the mountains, far off from society, she was homeschooled all her life and things like that. The only person that she knew or were close with was her mom and Amani's mother, Zora, that she knew when she was like little. So so Imani, like she's her mom really like because I think it's easier to have confidence because like there was really no one around, but her mom instilled in her that like you are beautiful, even though you're mixed breed, you are strong, you are powerful. She didn't raise her daughter to be ashamed of her race, which I think is very telling and beautiful and was showed throughout a series of like more of her personality and her beliefs and things like that. um yeah, so yes, Zoe's just confident, sure of herself, and because she was closed off all her life, she is very hard to communicate with other people. It's very hard for her to like uh form bonds, be friends with people and things like that because she was closed off all her life. But we'll see in time, like if she'll get better at it, if not, things like that. But one thing's for sure is that Zoe and Amani, for the most part, they're working on their bond, but for the most part, like they're like in two peas in a pod in a way in terms of like circumstance and things like that. Because like Amani's figuring out things about her family and her life, and Zoe too. She's learning about the other side of her family. She met her uncle. She's met what is it? Her cousins. Well, not cousins, just one cousin, which is ben, Benji. So yeah, and meeting her grandparents, things like that, meeting the pack. So like just like with Amani, Zoe's learning and like adapting and things like that, and being exposed to things that she's never like thought of or seen before. Um, so now Nima, obviously, okay, so she's the aunt, and she's the aunt to Amani and the sister to Ben. She was best friends with Amani's mother, which is Zora. She loves her daughter more than anything. Like literally, like it just shows that the fact that it was in hiding because of her daughter, because she knew that the fact that her mate was a vampire was horrible and wrong, and she'll be exiled from her pack. Like she left everything she known and went into hiding to protect her daughter, to protect her family. So that just shows that she'll do anything for her daughter. Obviously, her mate is a vampire. Um, Nima, she's a very loyal friend, a loyal sister. Laura, not I'm saying a loyal sister because she wasn't loyal because she did tell Ben about what happened and stuff. But yeah, she. I can't say too much, but like at least for the first book, what I loved about Anima is just she has kind of in a way I would say is being that like home figure for Amani, because just like she loves her daughter and is there for her, she's also being understanding and being there for Imani as well. Like she loves Zoe, that's her daughter, but she's also being like in a way a motherly figure to Amani as well, and helping her in terms of adapting to everything. And also, I would say Nima is trying to become. She's the older sister, and so she's trying to rekindle that broken sibling relationship that broken sibling relationship that she had with Ben. She's trying to repair that. So that's that. Um, Omar, he's the beta, Ben's best friend. He's the father of Jojo. He's very loyal. Um, all right. Um, Benji's friends, Jojo, Zaire, don't really have that much to say about them. They'll play a role later on, but for the most part, they're just Benji's friends. They're in the same grade, um, age and grade as him. Um, Kojo and Zuri, new friends of Zoe and Amani. Nothing to really go about them. Israel is Zora's guard. He went with Zora when she left the kingdom to come to America, basically, to avoid. Never mind. Think I'm getting too ahead of myself. So anyway, he's a loyal guard. That's it. Okay, so now I am going to talk about the different packs that I introduced. Uh, I already talked about the ancestors and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the ancestors, but for the most part, anyway, I'm gonna talk about the different packs and their origins, the three packs that were introduced in this book. Okay, the first pack is the Spirit Walker pack. So they live up north. They live in the mountains, and they're very traditional. They So they're physical. So for the Spirit Walker pack, the way you can identify them in like their human form is they're black. Obviously, they're black with gray eyes. So the Spirit Walker pack, they are known to have gray eyes. That's a big indicator. When they're in their wolf form, their wolves are gray, black, and dark blue. That's their fur when they're in their wolf form. They are the sister pack of the Silver Fang pack. So Silver Fang is more in the south, North Carolina. Well, they're part of the south. Yeah. Anyway, even though it says North Carolina, they're part of the south. So anyway, they're the sister pack of the Spirit Walker pack. Um, they come from the with Spirit Walker pack. What is very unique about them is that they come from a line of witches. They come from a family of witches. So not only are they wolves, they also still have their wolf spirit, but some of them are mixed blood, and all of them come from a line of witches. Messi is their ancestor, and their pack colors are royal blue, black, and white. Um, I think I mentioned this in the book. There is it's like a rumor slash not really a rumor. No one knows the true story, but Missy is the half sister of um, Silver Fang's ancestor, Talbot. Talbot. So he's the ancestor of the Silver Fang, and Messi's the ancestor of the Spirit Walker. So they're siblings, half siblings. There's like little rumors going around saying that Messi was in love with Tabe, but that's I'm not gonna say that's true or not. That's what they believe in the story. Okay. So there's a rumor about that. But anyway, so Messi was a witch. She was, she was a witch, and she had wolf blood. We'll go into deep about like that later. But anyway, they come from a family of witches. Also, wolves, but they have mixed in witch blood, so that makes them very unique. Okay. Next pack is the Moon Pack. All right, the Moon Pack. They're from California. They're a Native American mix. They have very long hair, and their pack colors are red, orange, and yellow. Their wolf fur is tan, brown, amber, and white. Different variations of that. Some could be just tan and brown. Some can be all four. Some can be all three. Just different variations of that. But for the most part, tan, brown, amber, and a white fur. Yeah, so that's the Red Moon Pack, and of course the Ring Pack. They're in the South, and oh, I didn't. Well, doesn't matter. Okay, so the ancestor of the Suffering Pack, of course, is Talbe. He's the first to leave the Moon Island and come to America. They live in the mountains. So Silver Pack is like mostly in the mountains a little bit. They're like spread across North America. They're one of the largest pack. They're the second largest pack. Obviously, the first largest pack is the royal, the royal pack, like the pack that's in the Moon Island, the royal people. They're like the first, but they're one of the largest pack. They're one of the oldest pack. Their pack colors are purple, black, and white. I already said this, but this is a pack of the Spirit Walker, and their fur colors are dark brown, black, and white. That's their fur colors. Um, how many minutes? Okay. All right, I'm gonna do a part three for the Q&A, and that'll be the last part for the Silverfang Found Q&A. And as always, leave comments down below. Any questions you have, I'll either make a video about it or I'll just respond to you. Whatever questions you have of the series, just it could be about Silverfang Found or future like the future books that's coming up. It could be about me, my writing, whatever. Any questions you have, I'll be happy to answer. I just want to say, of course, thank you for supporting me, loving the book. I read all your comments. I truly appreciate it. So yeah, so I'm gonna make a part three because this is getting a little long. So anyway, bye. Thanks.